And then online courses are also available for that. And one of the things is ISO 50001 actually, that anyone can then register and then work for that, because it is not only auditing, but it is energy management system. Like it is like it will have like codes, more of the, it is focus on the codes of the auditing and then benchmarks and how to do that system based things is there. That also one can actually do. But before that, I suggest you should have like some basic thing like Bureau of Energy Efficiency, where the detailed study material is there. You can go through online also and have a proper background. It is not only steam, it is not only thermal, it is electrical. All things are all holistic study is there, and then you can appear and then you can get certification of that also. That is also important for that. And then finally, and we also have as a Forbes Marshall also, we are conducting like every year we are conducting course for like 6 months for like participants from any industry, like whether it is engineer or science graduated or different stream, electrical instrumentation. Anyone can join there. We have a standard procedure for that. Registration is there, and once they are selected, then we have 6 months course where we give like theoretical classes also. At the same time, we are giving the projects at the like customer place, and practical running projects are there, so that it is not only theory but practically customer that student who is appearing for that is get completely well was is actually then competent to do that audits. So that there are many courses like that. It's there.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
we'll go to the next question. Kumar Kannan has a question. During auditing, there is a requirement of analytics. Do you use any machine learning tools to make auto analysis?
Yeah. So see, nowadays, if you see, there are a lot of data is coming actually. Okay. But the data that has to be analyzed. But basically, if you see, Excel for currently, if you see, Excel is very sufficient, and then we can generate many simulators in Excel also, which are very powerful. We should not ignore the Excel power actually. Apart from that, yes, there are many tools are there. Okay, if you use the Python, basic Python also, based on the Python you can generate small programs. We also have developed that. But finally, what it happens, the fundamentals we should not forget. We should not only limit it to that programs and applications where you enter the data, but we don't know what type of data where to enter. Okay, that clarity, because energy auditor should not be like completely dependent on these tools. It should be very thorough where to use. But yes, definitely. But I will prefer to have a Excel very strongly. You should use the Excel strongly. Then there are many platforms are there. If you go online also, you'll get many online calculators are available. But that those calculate how to use and what is the background of that calculator, we don't know. What they have considered as a basis. Sometimes we don't know. So we should be very like cautious on that. That I am suggesting.
No, that I understand. Okay, so one of the very clear things for us to also understand is that ML tools tend to take it assuming that data is correct and correctly entered.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not necessarily always true.
Not true. And basis of that tool also we should be very clear.
Exactly. Yeah. So at least in Indian context currently, or for that part, most of the South Asia and Southeast Asia context, availability of reliable data itself is a little bit of a challenge in the present scenario. Okay. So as it develops further, maybe the ML tools can be a little bit more robust. But as far as we can see, I think the current methodology is very much required, even in terms of whether it is validation or in terms of implementation. Because ML tools are going to give you only half the picture if the other part is not correctly implemented.
Correct. It will help the data which is coming online and which is reliable. It will 100% help. Like electrical system, all the electrical data loggers, all data comes. Even thermal data loggers also come. But where the data is not rightly available, it is spots available, manually it is available, then this tool may have limitation. But otherwise, it is very good. If you have a lot of online data available, it will do analysis also online. That is also greatness of the like this new tools.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and there also the interesting fact is that if we are looking at these additional tools coming into the picture, when it comes to steam and condensate networks, a lot of the times everything from the sensor itself becomes a little bit of a challenge. Okay, it's a very hostile environment for sensors also.
Because it is not like that air conditioned plants are there and data is coming. It is a practical environment where the corrosive environment, chemicals are there, and a lot of wastage, and there is no like space in the plant for the sensors. All this practicality, using that, how the data we can collect. That is the first challenge is there in the industry. And then if it is available, then definitely these tools are helpful to reduce the time and improve the accuracy. That definitely.
we have another question from Dr. Patil, I think. Can we have an FDP at Forbes Marshall as industrial training for faculties? Yes, sir. Actually, this is something we had discussed in the previous FDP also, in the previous version also of this, which is that we conduct teacher training programs. Okay, but the challenge for that is we need a batch size of at least 25 to justify this. Okay, it can be a 3-day program, which is a beginner's kind of an initiative, or we can have the full length 5-day program in person at Forbes Marshall facilities. But we can't do that for 2 or 3 people. It's a bandwidth issue for us in terms of availability of the trainers, availability of the infrastructure, and so on and so forth. So for that, we do have a 3-day option. We also have a 5-day option on the teacher training program. This is something we can definitely look into. But my request to you will be, if you can write to us if you have any specific requests on that front. Please write to us on the Forbes Marshall Thermodynamics Connect email ID. And if we have the batch size, if we have interested enough faculty members, then we'll reach out to you that, okay, we are starting this batch from so and so dates and so on. So there are a lot of logistics involved also in that. This is something we can definitely look at. Next. As a fresh graduate, what are the courses needed to approach and become expert in steam audits and energy audits? So I think part of that we already discussed. So there are many courses in this, including the steam engineering course from Forbes Marshall, the Bureau of Energy Efficiency certification, as well as the ISO certification. So this is something you can definitely take a look into. Okay. Ms. Priya, after completion of the training, can we go for consultancy work? I'm not sure. The situation is, please understand, energy audits are not something you can learn in a day or even in a week. Okay, at least that's my experience with respect to interacting with a lot of different energy auditors, both within Forbes Marshall as well as on the customer side. It takes time. Okay, so it's not something that you can start immediately. But so that's
even if you complete say course or a certification you are completed, then still you should work in like jointly with the project team. You should be accompanied with something and see what happens in the practically how the things are being handled. Once you have some practical projects with some senior or something, then slowly we can then do as an independent consultant. But you should not directly jump and then you should do, because there are many things which are not aware, which is not taught in the classroom. Okay, everything has to be some practical basis.
Yeah. So there is a steep learning curve.
Steep learning curve, yeah.
Absolutely.
But definitely you can do that after your completion.
We'll go to the next one. Yeah. So if anybody has any other questions, you can type it in the chat box. If not, if you still want to write to us, that's also fine. You can simply drop a query to fmthermodynamics@forbesmarshall.com. This is a regular email ID, and we respond fairly quickly to this email. So there are just 2 additional things we want to talk about before we move on to the next session. So first thing is, Suhas, thank you very much for your time for this session. And this is very insightful. The hope we have that out of discussions such as we had today, we would then the gaps that are clear between the industry and academia, those can be fulfilled on both sides. Okay, so even industry can take a role in which they are offering more and more training, which, as I said, we are doing. We have this steam engineering course 6 months, but we also have an online open elective, which is kind of an introductory course for that as well. So this is something we can definitely think about. Industry is willing to do this, all of these exercises, but at the same time, there needs to be an upgradation of syllabi. There needs to be even internships and sabbaticals for faculty members, where they can be part of this process so that they understand it at depth. Okay, so that's at least my hope from this.
As extracurricular, also they can add something in the academics also. So it will help the students
actually. Yeah, and the thing is, it takes a certain type of temperament. Okay, not everybody can be an energy auditor. You have to be detail oriented. You have to be able to take efforts in terms of getting enough information. So if there are students who don't know that such a field exists, that understanding is going to be really helpful.
It will help. Yeah, because normally when people are doing education thing, people mostly think IT, but they are not aware of what is existing in the market, what is the demand, what is the requirement in the market. That is also important. We should be aware first, and then we can align with that.
Yeah. And see, this is the second part of it. Okay, so if we look at the IT industry, I mean, yes, they have their successes and there are no detriments or anything on that. but they have to keep reinventing themselves every couple of years, because whatever technology they have used up until now, it may change 2 years down the line. So they have to keep learning all of that, which is again great. There is nothing wrong with that. But with respect to a field like energy audits or energy services, your knowledge base actually keeps on improving as you get more and more involved in the project, right? Yeah.
Here also customer is also growing, their knowledge is growing. Like you mentioned IT also, earlier making a coding, it was great. Now today all codes are available on the. So that changes. We have to also accept the changes everywhere. So like this energy auditing also, there are a lot of changes happening. Customer is more and more aware. We should be upgrading our knowledge and then support. That is the requirement.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Suhas. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you everybody for spending your time with us. I'm Anant Karegaonkar. I'm actually lead on the Forbes Marshall Thermodynamics Connect initiative, and we are actually really proud to be able to bring such interactions to you. Okay. So going forward, we hope that we get to do more of these sessions.